This is an odd little creature, but the results, they're delicious. I don't know about you, but I love asparagus. And if you want to be successful with growing some asparagus, you've got to get your bed right because it's going to be around for a long time. We'll just look at this ridge here that I threw up 3 years ago, and we planted crowns of asparagus, and you can't believe the asparagus that it produces every year. This is UC 157 and was developed by the University of California. And what I'm planting over here is a new variety, which is called UC 72, Mary's granddaughter. And these are the most interesting looking crowns you'll see. This is what an asparagus root is called. And what I do is I buy these as 2-year-old crowns and you plant them in the early spring. And it's the stalk of the asparagus that we eat. And what will happen is they'll come up and emerge, and we'll cut them off at a desirable length and eat them. And then there'll be others that we'll leave, and those stalks will come up and make a very soft, diaphanous foliage. And this whole ridge will be nothing but that very feathery-like foliage through the entire summer. So what I've done here is I've thrown up a 2-foot wide ridge, and I've already worked in some manure into it. You want it about 7 inches deep, and I've taken some bone meal. I'm going to add a little bit more. You just want to sprinkle some bone meal down through the middle of it. And then I have some wood ash. I've already added some. Let me just add a little bit. This is from the fireplaces. And rather than lay those raw roots right on top of that, you want to work that in just a little bit like this. So what you want to do is then take those little spider-like crowns and you want to drop them in the ground. You want 7 inches of soil over the top. You're going to place them about 14 to 16 inches apart. And what you're going to do is you're going to harvest none of them the first year. Let the stalks come up, and the next year you'll get bigger crop, and you're only going to eat about 25%. Look at the size of that one. That's a beauty there. And you've got to figure out where you want them in your garden because you don't want to dig them up once you get them started. Now with them in place, what I'm going to do is start pulling the soil back over the top of them just like this. And I like to do it as soon as the soil can be worked in the spring while it's still cold. And you can order these asparagus plants, or you can find them at a feed and seed store, dormant like that. As soon as it begins to warm up, you'll start seeing these little green finger-like sprouts coming up, and that's going to be your first sign that your asparagus is doing well. It's going to be successful. Now, if you're enjoying these tips on growing some of your own food, share them with a friend and subscribe to ehowhome.